Welcome to our online classes, and today we'll be continuing the chapter number system, that is rational and irrational number. So today we'll see the concept of converting recurring decimals into p by q form, and we will also see the operation on real numbers. This video will be little longer than the earlier videos, so please bear with me. In this type of particular question, you need to understand where exactly is a bar on the decimal point. So in this case, so we have to take this as x. So we have x is 0.6 bar. So we can say let x equals to this. Take this as equation number 1. Okay, now there's only bar on only one decimal, so you need to multiply. You can just write it as open number. Sorry, cut. So our first question is 0.6 bar. As you can see, there's a bar only on one digit. So this is how we should write it. We have x equal to 0.6 bar. Take this as equation number 1. Now we understand 6 bar means 6, 6, 6, 6, and so on continuously. So we multiply by 10. So when you multiply by 10, we get 10x is equal to 10 times 0.666 and so on. Now, why are we multiplying only by 10? Because there's only bar on only one digit. So we take 10, that is, it has only 1 0. So we shift the point onto the right side after multiplying by 10. So we get 6.666 and so on. Now we can shorten this by writing it as 10x is equals to 6.6 bar. Take this as equation number 2. Now from 1 and 2, you can say subtract equation 1 by 2. So we get 10x minus x 6.6 bar minus 0.6 bar. As you can understand, 10x minus x is 9x and 6.6 bar. So you can see like this, again 6 bar and 0.6 bar. Now this is same. So this will get cancelled. 6 minus 0 is 6. So we have a number without any decimal point. So we can get this as x equals to 6 by 9. You can write it as 2 by 3. So this is of the form p by q, where q is not equal to 0. I hope you understood. This was the easy one. Let's go to the next one. Now, what if there are bar on two decimals? So let's understand. Again, we use the same idea. We have let x equals to 0.47 bar. Let's take it as equation number 1. Now open the bar. So we have 0.47, 47, 47, and so on, as you can understand. Now, since there's a bar on two decimals, you need to multiply by 100. Because the 100 will shift the point from here to this point. Okay. So we got 100x is equal to 47.4747 and so on. And you can shorten this as 100x equals to 47.47 bar. Okay. Take this as equation number 2 and we do the same thing. Let's say subtract equation 1 from equation 2. So we get 100x minus x is equal to 47.47 bar minus 0.47 bar. Now we get 99 over here, 99x here, and we get only 47 over here. Now we have x equals to 47 upon 99. As you can understand, there is no factor over here. 4 plus 7 is 11, and this is 99. So this is your answer in p by q form, where q is not equal to 0. Sorted? So this one is a little tricky one. So you can say let x equals to 0.57 bar. And as you can understand, there's a bar on this one. So first we will write it in the open form. So you can take this as equation number 1. So in the open form, this will be 57777 and so on. So you multiply first the 10. Multiply by 10. So you must be asking why not 100? Because we have only bar on the 7th part on the one digit. So basically you multiply by 10. So you understand we have 10x is equals to shifting the point from here to here, we have 5.7, 7, and 7 continuously. So this you can write in short form as 10x. Wait a second. 10x equals to 5.7 bar. Now take this equation as equation number 2. Now from here you multiply. So this multiply equation. So equation 2 can be written as 5.777 and so on. So multiply again 2 by again 10. Okay, or you can just multiply equation 1 by 100. So it doesn't matter. So this will be 100x equals to 57.777. Okay, just understand we have just multiplied by 10. So this will shift only 1 point here. Okay, now we can write this as 100x equals to 57.7 bar. Take this as equation number 3. Now, in this case, you subtract equation number 2 from 3 and not 1. Okay, you can try it and you'll get a confusing number. So better. So subtracting equation 2 from equation 3, we get 100x minus 10x is equal to 57.7 bar minus 5.7 bar. So you get here 90x and here you'll get 52. So the x is 52 divided by 90. This you can cancel. You can get 26 upon 45. So the answer is 26 by 45, which is of the form P by Q. I hope you got it. So you practice this type of question more. And let's go to the next one. So the next one is 0.001 bar. Okay, so in this case, you can understand there are 3 digits and the bar is on the 3 digits. So basically, you do the same thing. You take 0.001, 001, 001, and dot, dot, dot. So you can understand. Okay, so since there are 3 digits and all of them have the bar, so multiply directly by 1000 because 1000 has 3 zeros. So we have 1000 x is equals to, okay, so the point will shift from here to here. And 001.001 is actually 1.001.001 and so on. Okay, so you can shorten this. We have 1000 x is equals to 1.001 bar. Now using the same idea. Okay, so we have x equals to 0.001 bar. Let's take it as equation number 1. 1 and take this as equation number 2. And let's do it over here. Subtracting equation 1 from 2, you get over here. So we got 1000x minus x is equals to 1.001 bar minus 0.001 bar. So we get 9x is equals to 1. So hence x equals to 1 upon 999, which is of the form P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0. I hope you understand. So this one is a little tricky one. So you can say let x equals to 0.57 bar. And as you can understand, there's a bar on this one. So first we will write it in the open form. So you can take this as equation number 1. So in the open form, this will be 57777 and so on. So you multiply first the 10. Multiply by 10. So you must be asking why not 100? Because we have only bar on the 7th part on the 1 digit. So basically you multiply by 10. So you understand we have 10x is equals to shifting the point from here to here. We have 5.7, 7 and 7 continuously. So this you can write in short form as 10x. Wait a second. 10x equals to 5.7 bar. Now take this equation as equation number 2. Now from here you multiply. So this multiply equation. So equation 2 can be written as 5.777 and so on. So multiply again. Understood this part. Let's go to the next one, operation on real numbers. Now in this case, you will be learning about or dealing with root numbers in general. The first question is very simple. Classify the following number as rational or irrational, that is in the root form. So we can understand 2 minus root 5 cannot be written in P by Q form since root 5 is irrational number. Okay. So therefore, this is an irrational. So 2 minus root 5 is an irrational number. Okay. Now let's understand this case. As you can see, we can operate a little bit and then we can actually classify. So we have 3 plus root 23 minus root 23. So this and this will get cancelled. So we have only 3. This can be written as 3 by 1, which is 1, which is P by Q form, where Q is not equal to 0. Therefore, we can say 3 plus root 23 minus root 23 is a rational number. Of course, after operation. Okay. Let's go to the next one. This part. Okay, so in this case, you can see 2 root 7 upon 7 root 7. So you can cancel this. Okay, so we have, so yes, you can cancel the same root numbers and you can also subtract the same root number with the same number. So we have 2 by 7. Now 2 by 7 is of the form p by q, where both 2 and 7 belong to integers, therefore, and q is not equal to 0. Therefore, you can say it is a rational number. Okay, 1 upon root 2. As you can do, see this case, we can do a little bit of rationalization, or you can directly write p by q. If you compare this case, we have q. If you compare p by q, and if you take p as 1 and q as root 2, as you can see, p belongs to integers, but q does not belong to integers. Okay, so therefore, 1 upon root 2 is an irrational number, or it's not a rational number. I hope you got it. Let's go to the next one. Now we are going for the operation on root numbers. So we will use a little bit of formula, or we will use the very basic of algebraic expression operations. So we have, in this case, we can say 3 times 2 plus root 2 plus root 3 times 2 plus root 2. Or if you can multiply directly, that will be easy as well. 3 2s are 6. This will be 3 root 2 plus. Okay. So understand, when we multiply a rational number with an irrational number, the rational number comes out of the root. Okay. So we have root 3 into 2 will be 2 root 3. Again, same logic. Now we have root 3 into root 2. Now in this case, their order is same. The order is, they are square roots. Okay, so their order is 2. So you multiply root 3 into root 3, that will be square root of 3 into 2. So the answer is 6 plus 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 plus root 6. Now understand, there is nothing common over here. This is root 2 and this is root 3. This is like 3x plus 2y. Now we understand x and y are not exactly same, so we cannot add it more. So you can leave the answer over here like this. Okay, so this is your answer. I hope you understood. Let's go to the next one. So in this case, you can see we have the same number, but this is in plus form, this is in minus form. This reminds us of the formula a plus b and a minus b. And this formula is the most important formula in this particular type of operations on irrational numbers or root numbers. So better you learn this one. We have a square minus b square. So in this case, we can say this is 3 square minus root 3 square. Now 3 square is 9 and root 3 square is 3 only. You cancel square and root and you get 6. So this is your answer. They can also ask you whether this is a rational number or irrational number. So after solving this, you can understand 6 can be written as p 6 by 1, which is p by q form. Therefore, the whole thing is a rational number. Whereas in this case, you can understand we have some root numbers in the answer. So this will be irrational number. Now using the same logic, now in this one, you can either do this by 5 plus root 2 into 5 plus root 2, and this will convert into the same like the first one. Or you can use a plus b the whole square, which is more smart way. We have a square plus 2ab plus b square using the identity formula. So we have the formula a here is 5. So we have 5 square plus 2 into 5 into root 2 plus root 2 square. Okay, so we have 5 square is 25. 2 5 is 10 root 2 plus root 2 square is 2. So you can add the rational numbers. We have 27 plus this and this, obviously. 27 plus 10 root 2. Okay, you cannot take anything common over here, so you can actually leave it like this. And this is an irrational number, as you can see. Using the same idea like the upper one, you can apply the idea over here. So I'm directly giving you the answer using a square. So this will be root 5 square minus root 2 square. And here you can use the idea a square, a plus b, a minus b is a square minus b square. Okay, you can signify like this. We have 5, root 5 square is 5 minus root 2 square is 2. So the answer is 3. Okay, so yeah. Let's go to the next one, rationalizing the denominator. Now in this case, you can have to understand when you say rationalizing the denominator, when the denominator is only in the root, you take multiply with the same root number. But if the denominator is in binomial form, like root 7 minus root 6, you take the conjugate of it. That is, you take the same number, just write plus in the middle. So let me just explain by doing it. So 1 upon root 7. So you have multiply root 7 upon root 7. So as you can see, 1 into root 7 is root 7, and root 7 into root 7 is 7. Now, your denominator is rationalized. It does not have any root number. Although your numerator has a root number, but that was not the point of the operation. Okay, so this is done. So this is, you can leave it till this part. This is your answer. Root 7 by 7 is your answer. Let's go to this one. Now this has a binomial, root 7 minus root 6. Both have the root. Okay, in this case, you need to multiply with the conjugate. The conjugate will be the same number, just change the sign of the middle section. So we have root 7 plus root 6 upon root 7 plus root 6. As you can see, 1 into root 7 plus root 6 will be root 7 plus root 6. Whereas in this case, we are using a minus b and a plus b form, which I just discussed. We have a plus b and a minus b. That will be root 7 square minus root 6 square. You can also write the formula whenever you're using. It will be helpful in the long run. Plus, whenever you'll visit the chapter, or whenever you'll visit this particular sum, you can understand, oh, I use this formula. That means this is the formula. So we have root 7 plus root 6 upon root 7 square is 7 minus 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. So your denominator is rationalized, and you have the answer root 7 plus 6. Okay, I hope you're understanding. Let's go to this one. Okay, there might be other sums also of the same type, but you can understand this case. In this case, so there's only root on the one number. So is your denominator not rationalized? Yes, the denominator is not in the rational form, it's in the irrational form. So you take the conjugate. So what should we do? So we take the same number, like I said, take the conjugate sign plus and keep the same number. Okay, just take a bracket so it becomes easier, that 1 into something. If there's a numerator already, you need to multiply that numerator with the numerator of this part. Okay, so we have root 7 plus 2, which is okay. And again, we have a minus b, a plus b. So you can understand, whenever we do the rationalization of a binomial term, we always